All right, mailbag time. First up from Chadwick Alford. Will Mike McCarthy sign Dez Bryant and other free agents to the Cowboys or draft Grant Delpit and other college teams in 2020 NFL Draft? 4 stars, there will be players drafted and free agents signed. For McCarthy, he'll have input. It's not going to be his final decision, though. I wouldn't get your hopes up for Dez Bryant coming back. If you bring back Cobb and Cooper and Gallup, which you will bring back, there's really no need for it there. Delpit, I think, is a real possibility. As for other college players, they'll target some players, but I think safety actually might be on the menu here for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, skate park. Since Jerry passed up on Randy Moss, we should pick up Thaddeus Moss. If he declares, a Moss-Jarwin combo would be insane. He's a kind of a bit of an almost hybrid build, 6'3", 250, but I think he's a pretty good athlete there. Depends on where you can get him. I don't think you need to take a top 90 pick on a tight end this year because you have other needs. But yes, I am down with Thaddeus Moss, and it would be a fun way for Jerry to say, hey, Randy, remember how I passed on you? I'm very sorry. I think he could be available on day 3 if he does turn pro. That makes sense, although kind of worry about the blocking for both of those guys as a combo there. Troy Daniels, how long do the Cowboys have to decide on tagging both Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper? I'll preface this by saying nothing should change with the new CBA in terms of when it has to be done, but you might have an issue there in terms of how many you can actually do. So the franchise tag deadline to do it is March 10th. By that time frame, you must tag somebody or they will become a free agent. Now, the opening window is before that, but the deadline in the end is March 10th. The first day for teams to do it is February 25th. So that's your time frame there, February 25th to March 10th. At that point, you must make a decision. Winston Shan busting out a new profile photo. I like this one quite a bit. Do you think it makes sense for the Cowboys to get Eric Ebron or Anthony Harris? I think it does a little bit. I think there is some sense behind it. It fills needs. I am very curious what the price tag ends up looking like for those two guys. I could see it getting a little bit out of the Cowboys' price range, and as they've been very clear before, they are not going to overpay and getting bidding wars for free agents because they got their own talented guys that they want to re-sign. So Ebron Harris makes sense. We'll see if it actually ends up happening, though. Michael Caldwell, do you see Dallas getting any comp picks? I assume you mean for this upcoming draft. You are, or at least you should be in line for a 5th round pick, maybe somewhere in that range, for the loss of Cole Beasley. It is a formula. You sign players, you lose others. So I think a 5th round pick is possible. Next year, as you lose guys from this free agency crop, you could end up getting even more picks as well. Casey Addison, will the Cowboys be a West Coast offense getting the ball out quickly? That is the McCarthy philosophy. Fun fact, I was bored last night because I couldn't fall asleep, and I was looking up Bill Walsh tenets of his philosophy. It was because it's a West Coast offense, and it was very strange to me because the Bill Walsh tenets were actually very familiar to what we've seen at times out of Kellen Moore and McCarthy. Running the football efficiently, not overdoing it. Play action, motion were all parts of it there. So I think you'll see a mostly McCarthy offense, but don't think it's going to be a check down offense. It'll be out quickly. I believe the phrase for the West Coast offense is it's a touchdown or a check down. So there will still be shots downfield, but they're going to try to avoid sacks. Dak can run too, so they'll use that as well. But it will be a quicker timing offense, which I think is fine for the Cowboys as long as it still takes shots downfield. All right, guys, shout out your city for me in the comments section. I, of course, right now am in Dallas. That is where we do our live shows. So everyone watching, let me know, what city do you guys watch from? I know this is America's team and the world's team, frankly, for football, not soccer. So that's why we got Hawaii in there, Salt Lake City, Milwaukee, South Carolina, Tom's River, named after me. It's a fantastic river, I promise you guys. Corpus Christi, Kansas, Nebraska, California, everywhere in there. So keep the comments coming as we move on to our next question from Alika Trimble, who has Hawaii in there, so kind of answering the question too. Will we get our heart broken hoping for a playmaker safety? I don't know about you guys, I am ready to be hurt again. I am ready to fall in love with Grant Delpit, fall in love with Antoine Winfield, fall in love with a Xavier McKinney, and end up not getting them. That's why, funny enough, Mike McCarthy asks, is Antoine Winfield Jr. an option for the Cowboys in any round of the draft? I think Winfield, as long as he tests well enough and is able to answer questions about, or at least check out, his medical and size issues, because he was banged up a lot at Minnesota and is an undersized safety, but he's a playmaker. I'm a huge fan of him. That's one of my guys this year, has been really since like the beginning of the year, because I saw him play as a freshman when he was actually healthy. He was so good. I hope so. I'd say watch out round 2, round 3. You also know how round 2 safeties end up going and breaking at least our hearts as Cowboys fans. Zach Bradley, was the reality of us re-signing Byron Jones, or what is the reality of us re-signing Byron Jones if he tests the market? What's our next move? If Byron Jones does not agree to an extension or does not get tagged in some capacity by the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think he's back. I think he's gone, because he is going to get so much on the open market, the Cowboys are going to go, damn it, Byron, we want you back, but we can't pay you $16, $15 million. And then Byron decides to leave and gets paid, and I respect that because it is a business after all. And if he's gone, you probably try and bring back Anthony Brown on the cheap, pray that Awuzie is better in this new scheme, and spend an early round draft pick on a corner as well. Kevin Balderas, one big name, if any, to watch for in free agency that the Cowboys could be looking at. It's probably going to have to be on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know if he counts as a big name. Von Bell has ties to Mike Nolan coming in from the Saints. Maybe Von Bell could make some sense there. I don't want to get your hopes up on this name. I'm going to say it, but don't get your hopes up for it. Chris Jones, the Chiefs defensive tackle. One of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. Chiefs have to do with the Mahomes contract. I think they bring him back. But if he's not tagged or whatever, I would be trying to find a way to bring in the money to sign Chris Jones. You can even cut the other Chris Jones so there's no confusion whatsoever. Got a deal for you guys as well. This t-shirt hat combo, 50% off, guys. It's only $20. It's a fantastic deal. Head over to chatsports.com/gift2. That's chatsports.com/gift2. I don't know about you guys. I do not believe in spending $20 on a hat or a t-shirt, but I'll spend $20 on both of them. That's chatsports.com/gift2. Check the description. Check the comments of this video. I've got the link in there, guys, so you can click and go buy. Great YouTube name here. Deuce the Goose. What can we do on defense to improve? The number one thing the Cowboys can do, and it's been this way for a while, it's been one of their biggest problems. They do not force turnovers. Now, I think at some level, turnovers are inconsistent from year to year. It's not random or lucky, but there is some flukiness involved. But the Cowboys consistently have been near the bottom of the NFL and the bottom of the NFC East in turnovers. That means there is a problem, and it's not repeated bad luck. So getting more turnovers, forcing interceptions, fumbles, that's your biggest thing you can do. All right, Mark Graham, with all of these players now declaring for the draft, do we have a better probability of drafting a first-round worthy defensive player? There's going to be a defensive guy on the board. You're hoping that the quarterbacks go early, so you could get some, or at least have the opportunity to grab a combination of a Javon Kinlaw, a Christian Fulton, a Trayvon Diggs, a Xavier McKinney, a Grant Delpit. I don't know if Neville Gallimore's worth that. One of the edge rushers, maybe A.J. Epinesa slides down to you a little bit. So there is going to be a good chance. You're also not going to get a top 10 player picking at number 17. Just keep that in mind. So don't get your hopes too far out of whack. Val Casso with a good name on the free agency side of it. Justin Simmons. I fully expect Denver to franchise tag Simmons. If he hits the open market, I am in. Go get him right now. I know that Justin Simmons fits the scheme. Vic Fangio was a Mike Nolan disciple. It's a fit there, or at least they're on the same offense there. So I don't think he's going to be available, but yes, I would pay good money to bring in Justin Simmons in free agency. TKG, who do I have going to the Super Bowl? I'm hoping for God, I don't want to say the Niners, but I don't want the Packers to be in there. I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers killing everybody. And he's a Cowboy killer. Don't want it. So I will take the Niners, even though depending on which generation Cowboys fan are you, there's a wrong answer for both of them. New Cowboys fans don't want Green Bay. Older Cowboys fans don't want San Francisco. There is no right answer there. And then the Chiefs. I would prefer the Chiefs over the Tennessee Titans. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. That's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for 120% deposit bonus. That's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for 120% deposit bonus. You can bet on all types of things in the NFL, including over-under win totals once we get to that time of the year. And that's Mr. Lowrider's question. In your opinion, what do you think our record will be this coming season? In all honesty, it's going to be 19-0. I'm kidding, of course, there. The Cowboys are a prime positive regression candidate, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but that is the way you describe it. Lost a lot of one-score games, had a great point differential. They will bounce back this next year. We'll see what happens in free agency in the draft, but look, I think 11 wins is very doable for this team. The Popos, what do the Jets want for Jamal Adams? The initial final offer that they made to Dallas was a first-round pick in Tyron Smith, which the Cowboys laughed at because you don't trade away a top 10 left tackle for a premier safety. That's just bad usage of your assets there. Can I get them down to a first and maybe a third? Is that something they're willing to do? If they take that, I'm in. The Jets can make this real simple. Throw money at Jamal Adams. Having lots of money in your relationship makes it easier to get along with each other. So for the Jets and Adams, they can just throw money at each other, boom, and they'll be fine. At least the Jets throw money at Jamal Adams. That's what they should do. We will monitor this because this story is not going to go away until a trade happens or he gets paid a big, big extension. All right, Ice037108 wants to know about Grant Delpit or Jamal Adams. Now, they are different players. I like Grant Delpit more as a single high free safety, and I like Jamal Adams more as an in-the-box player. You could use both of those guys. So you guys let me know in the comments, who do you want? D for Delpit, A for Adams. Delpit is certainly cheaper. It's also more of a risk. You know what you're getting in Jamal Adams. I think the best young safety in the NFL. Grant Delpit, a little bit more variability. He missed some tackles this year. A lot of them, that's a big red flag. What was going on there? Between the two, I'm going to take Adams. And I'm a big Grant Delpit fan, but if I know I can get a guaranteed superstar safety, yeah, I got to pay him. But with 2 years left on his deal, including his fifth-year option, I can manipulate that contract in an impressive way. I'm going to take Adams on that one. All right, Alakia Trimble. It better not be a State Farm Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. That doesn't sound fun to me. That's just going to be not a fun meme, a super annoying meme. That's not the route I want to go. I don't think that's what many people want out there, unless you're a Packers-Chiefs fan. Joshua Fletcher. Can Jaylon Smith play the edge in the 3-4? Jaylon Smith can. Look, he played some 3-4 backer at Notre Dame, and he's actually a very good pass rusher. I don't know what the Cowboys' plan is yet. Once Mike Nolan is officially introduced, we get to talk to him, I think we'll get more information there. Now, the front, if you don't put Jaylon Smith there, you've got some question marks, right? You have DeMarcus Lawrence. He can play 3-4, by the way. Check some of our recent videos. I broke down how and why he can. You don't have a locked-in other edge rusher. You could try Jaylon Smith there. And depending on what moves you make, maybe that's what you decide to end up doing with Jaylon Smith. Because you have Leighton Van Esch, you're bringing back Sean Lee. Maybe you could have at least some packages with Jaylon Smith as an edge rusher, Sean Lee, Van Der Esch in the middle. I don't think Smith is a premier edge rusher, but he absolutely can play that role. And look, if he had been a pure edge coming out of the NFL draft and been healthy, he would have been a first-round pick. That's just how dynamic he was in college. Leroy Pearson Jr. If Dallas gets deals done with Dak and Cooper, who do you think will get the franchise and/or transition tags? I think that Byron Jones would be a prime candidate for a franchise tag. You could also maybe see them hit the transition tag with Robert Quinn. I don't know if that's the route they'd go. I have the numbers here. Give me 1 second to pull up my Twitter and look at the numbers here for the transition tag versus the franchise tag. So just bear with me because I got to go search. I should have sent it to myself, but I was being dumb and didn't do it. The franchise tag, the non-exclusive version, is more expensive than the transition tag. It impacts what the price tag ends up looking like for those players. So it is, got it, fine, okay. So receiver, it's 18.5-ish for the franchise, 15.9 for the tag. For Byron Jones at cornerback, franchise tag is $16.471 million. The transition tag is $14.57 million. So a little bit more expensive there for the franchise tag. For a defensive end, which is what Robert Quinn would be categorized as, $19.3 million for the franchise tag. That's too much. Transition tag is $16.338. That's probably on the high end for me, so I think Byron makes sense. I think he might be the only guy they end up doing there in the end for the Dallas Cowboys. Just kind of keep that in mind as it relates to franchise tags if they can get deals done with Dak Prescott or Amari Cooper. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.